Our love of the islands began as young people growing up in the opposite corners of the globe. Our passion formed around our childhood experiences and shaped our company and our life together as we know it. As a young girl growing up by the sea on the east coast of Australia, I spent countless hours exploring tide pools and beachcombing for treasures with my family. There were limitless potential for adventures and creative expression and the wild growth of my imagination for island exploration. During my life, the power of the sea would continually pull me back to my beginnings, to my cultural heritage and my need to be by the sea. My spirit was drawn into the magic of islands on family travels.
Growing up in Switzerland, I always had a fascination for islands. I guess it's kind of an island in its own right, except without an ocean around it. I had this dream of islands from the moment I read Mutiny on the Bounty and heard of these tales of the South Pacific. And I knew that one day I'm going to be living in one of those islands. And sure enough, I had this massive wallpaper on my bedroom wall of some beautiful French Polynesian island. Well, I set off when I was 20. And after traveling for a year through the Americas and Caribbean, I ended up on a little island called St. Lucia. And as I was sipping a cocktail up on the deck of this beautiful boutique resort, looking down at the reef that I was just diving on, the owner and I were having a great little chat, and he goes, "You know, you have that personality. If you were a dive guide, I'd hire you in a flash." With my background in economics and kind of heading down the road of possibly banking, that was the first time that I was kind of sitting there sipping on my pina colada going, After traveling throughout the South Pacific Islands, I arrived in Australia and I went back into banking and very quickly realized this is not my career. I headed up to the Great Barrier Reef and I did my dive instructors and then traveled the world filming, dive guiding, teaching underwater and loving the island life. My travels eventually took me to beautiful Micronesia and the archipelago of Palau, where fate would have it that I would meet and fall in love with the love of my life, Natalia.
After soaking my mind's eye with images of islands on the gigantic IMAX theatre screen in Sydney, my friend and I booked our getaway to Palau. I was instantly held captive by the power of island magic, and I fell in love with the islands and with Thomas. It was a culmination of island culture, island time, and the spectacular array of tropical blue waters that captured my soul and rendered me helpless to escape from this newfound love of island life. Our love for each other and the islands grew as we explored the islands on camping adventures and on kayaking trips, paddling through the myriad of emerald green rock islands, diving the bountiful reefs, and bonding deeply through cultural connection with our Palauan family and friends. We committed our lives to each other in front of family and friends from all around the world, on the High Chief's Island next to the famed Blue Corner, with our ceremony being led by the President of Palau. These were formative years that influenced our choices as we shifted into expedition travel.
Island destinations have captured our hearts from the beginning. This also became one of the main inspirations behind us shaping Wild Earth Expeditions. Our love for the islands, the swaying palm trees, the sound of the ocean lapping on the shores, the incredible marine biodiversity, and the people that inhabit these islands with their rich customs and traditions is what really captured our hearts and what made us form Wild Earth Expeditions. For both Natalia and myself, our hearts start to sing when we know we're leading an expedition to a tropical island paradise like Indonesia, Raja Ampat, Palau, Fiji, French Polynesia, and we're thrown back to our childhood memories of dreaming of island experiences.